Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce, and today we're answering the question, can you reload 7.62x39 ammo? Well, I've done some preliminary tests years ago and never made it to an actual video, but I can tell you right now that the short answer is yes. The long answer is yes, but it's complicated. The first hurdle you have is locating brass. If you can find brass that's USA made, that takes a boxer style primer that all of us know and love in the reloading world, then you are good to go. At that point, as long as you can source a correct diameter bullet, which they still use the moniker 7.62, but that's actually a .310 to 312 diameter bullet, not the 308 that we use in the US. So as long as you can find that source of bullet, then it is no harder to reload 7.62x39 as it is 5.56 or normal 308. And technically you could get away with a 308 bullet in there, but it's not going to engage the rifling as well, and you may have some issues with accuracy. Here's a commercially made 7.62x39 Russian round, and here is my reloaded version right there. Let me get that focus there. You can see the bullet is a little bit different. It's the same diameter. It is a 3.312, I think, but it is a copper-plated cast bullet, not a full metal jacket and pointed. It should cycle. It should still cycle. There's the same weight, and I use the same recipe that is available on many different websites from powder manufacturers. I did not go off the beaten path with this because I have no idea what I'm doing practically. The main obstacle in reloading 7.62x39 is the steel cases. They are a bear to reload. Not because it's steel. You can reload steel cases, you just have to be very easy with it and put a lot of lubrication on there. The main issue is the primer. They use a Berdan primer or Berdine primer. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm going with Berdan. So they use that kind of primer system, which is a completely different version than the boxer style primers we use in the US. And it is very, very hard to reload. So, and also the Berdan primers are completely unavailable in the US. They have been for years and years and years. So you can't get a hold of primers even if you wanted to reload these as a new Berdan primer case. So what you have to do is modify the case to take a boxer primer. And the boxer primer is slightly too small to tightly fit in the old cases. So you have to basically modify it and then glue the primer in there. I used nail polish on this one case, and another case I used super glue to hold it in there. They're a tight enough fit to be in there fairly decently, but they will fall out if you tap them. Say if you're, experiencing recoil in your rifle and this is in your magazine, the primer could back out, which is a bad day for everybody. There's a company out there that makes an adapter sleeve that adapts a Berdan primer case to take a boxer primer. I've never used them, I've never tried them before, but if the company sends me a box of them to test out, I will do that for the channel. As far as the powder charge goes, I'm just following the recipe that I can find in my several reloading manuals, and they all tend to agree what kind of powder to use and how much. Alrighty folks, we're on the farm. I can take off my hat so you can actually see my face. Never trust a man you can't see his face. Now I've got two varieties, two different loadings for my 7.62x39. And first of all, I'm going to go ahead and test it out in my SKS. Today's SKS is a Chinese variant, and it still has the good old bayonet. Such a great firearm. Love this thing. Okay, I'm going to use the lower charge right now. Okay, I'm going to do a steel, one of my steels, and a brass case as well. So we'll see how that works. I'll also test these out in an AK-47. Always whenever you're developing a load, you don't make a whole truckload of it at first shot. You always make a little test run first. So we're going to make the steel case the second. I've got to set up my target. Crap. 1 second. Out of video sync. I now have my camera set up for my target. Can't believe I forgot that almost. Well, Cosmoline is still leaking out of this because of the sun, because it is about 137 degrees outside right now with about 5,000% humidity. That might be exaggerated, but it's hot. I'm going to sweat through this shirt in no time. Okay, brass case first, steel case, all reloaded ammo. Second, safety off, eyes and ears are on. Here we go. Nice. And it locked back. Beautiful. Heck yeah. All right. That actually excites me because I had never done this before. I dabbled in it a little bit years and years ago before I started YouTube. We're talking 2005. Well, actually probably 2008 during the first ammo crisis. But yeah, that's awesome. Let me see if I can find that brass. Apparently that brass landed in the next county over. So we're going to go ahead and I got 2 more loaded here. The same power level, same lower level. And I'm going to watch the brass, see where it goes. I've kind of angled where it doesn't hit the trees when it ejects. So hopefully we will be good to go. Okay, I see where that went. My target is going crazy. Let me see if I can stop it. Okay, she locked back again. It shoots so smooth. Okay, I saw that piece of brass. It landed right here. AK-47. Let's see if this sucker runs in the AK-47. Let me get the light on that and you can see that these are in fact my reloads. If I get to the focus, come on Canon, focus. All right. Okay, target camera is actually working this time. Okay, here we go. That's a problem. The flat, no, I was afraid of that. The flat nose bullet is stuck against the trunnion. They do not like, this one doesn't like hollow points. I was afraid of this. Let's see if I can nuzzle it in there though. Did that go in? Yes, it did. Okay. We will see if this functions. I have no idea. Let's find out. That worked. Fantastic. Fantastic. It is not that hard to reload 7.62x39. So far at this point, I've only been using the lowest powder charge that's recommended. So now I've got the mediums out that I put right in the middle. Right in the middle of the suggested powder charge. Again, brass first, steel second. All the cameras should be rolling still. Okay, I see that brass right there. And I have no idea where that brass went. That feels more stock. That feels more like a standard 7.62x39. So if you're looking at the load range, you know, low, very low to very high maximum charge in all the books, if you go right in the middle and you're using the appropriate bullet weight, it feels at least as powerful as the normal Russian ammo. Oh, okay, I found a brass. It is hot. It is so hot. But the primer is showing no signs of overpressure. So if you want a softer shooting, it's still burning me. Let me. If you want a softer shooting SKS or AK-47, you can dial back your charge to the lower of the minimum recommended charges. And so far as I'm concerned, it does cycle the SKS and it should cycle your AK-47 if it is reasonably well maintained. And if you want something that feels more like what you'd buy from the store, put the charge right in the center of the minimum and maximum, which is usually where I go to. I never load maximum charge unless I'm just trying to prove something. And I'm never trying to prove something. There's no need to. Low to medium is usually where reloaders live. Did you see that enthusiasm there? That was not made up for the camera. I am honestly stoked about how well this worked. So in conclusion, can you reload brass case, boxer prime, 7.62x39? Of course you can. I just showed you that you could. And it reloads just like any other rifle caliber ammo. Simple as could be. But can you reload 7.62x39 steel case ammo? Yes, I showed you can do that as well. But it is a pain in the butt to do because you have to modify that primer to take a boxer primer. But it's not really that hard to do. It is the equivalent of forming 300 blackout out of 5.56 brass and reloading that as 300 blackout. So if you can do that, you can do this modification as well. One of the problems I did come across is the fact that SKSs and AK-47s really like to throw their brass into the county next to you. So you were probably not going to locate much of this brass after the first time you fire it. This is going to be lost in the woods on a regular basis, unfortunately, like what I found out. So that is an issue, but it is doable. Well, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. If you have any comments, questions, or a show ideas, leave that in the comment box of the video. I try to give as many as possible. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.